And we have Darrell, who unfortunately is not here with us today. And I'm Sylvia Scott, and I'm the director of Best Start. But I also am going to be sorry. I like to hear my voice, but not like. Okay. I'd also like to acknowledge our interpreters and our team that is ran by Carmen Carlos and our other our notator Lisa Figueroa. Thank you very much. And then Nadia, who has been our IT support this year. Thank you, Nadia. And thank you, the community, for all the work that you've been doing. We've got a lot of recapping to do to just look at some of that. But we'll go ahead and so as you can see, Best Start has a new home, and this home is also for you. The Family Resource Center here in Palmdale, through Children's Bureau, was set up to provide services to the community, but it is also a family resource center for the community to use. The room that we're in now opens up to another room for 3 rooms. And this particular conference room is available for community organizers, community programs, community members to utilize for events or if you're going to have a meeting, like if you have an organization, you want to have a meeting. You're able to utilize these rooms. We also have different, and maybe we can do a tour after the meeting, do a tour so that everybody can get a better idea of what we're going to have here. But we are also going to have on this side of the building, we're going to have Department of Mental Health. They basically rented out half of this building, so they're going to provide all their youth and children's services here out of this site. We also have other organizations like ABPH, Project Joy, who are also renting out some spaces here. And then we have our mental health services and our prevention services that are going to be provided out of here. It's going to be a walk-in center that if there's families or residents that are looking for service for their children, they can walk in and we can set that up to get you going in that direction. So we're really excited. We love the building. We were kind of like traveling around different sites when we were having our meeting, but now this is our new home, and we'd love for you all to still come back. We're still going to be going hybrid. We'll be online and in person, but I love having everybody here in person. It just, there's just something more personal with that, you know. So again, we'll do a tour after after the so we are recording this meeting to let you all know. And you, yeah, we're gonna also on the table you'll see the different forms. We have forms that you give us permission to take pictures. We'd love to share pictures on our social media. We also have what is it, the picture, the photography
and video.
Okay. But you'll see there, if you don't mind finding, we appreciate that. The reason we also record our meetings is that if for some reason you are unable to attend a meeting, we put all the recordings on our YouTube channel, and that way you're able to go back and see a meeting if for some reason you missed. So for today, we'll this is our agenda. We'll go through our agreement. We're going to review a little bit about the new First 5 LA strategic plan. Then we're going to do a showcase of the work that's been done this year, and then we'll look at reflections, and then we'll start having our lunch. Do I have a volunteer that maybe would want to read? Or no, the acknowledgement. That'll be it. Anyways, for today though, we do want to make sure that everyone is aware of the work the partnership has done for this year, as well as we want to be knowing what updated on the strategic plan and really where we're moving forward for the new coming year. Yeah, do I have a volunteer that maybe would like to read the meeting agreements? Thank you, Javier.
We will be punctual, stay present, and engage on topic. Let the focus on the journey. Be authentic. One person speaks at a time. Agree to disagree respectfully. Finish your sentence, not your paragraph. Step up, step back, move forward. We're going to change going with that. Okay, exercise confidentiality when necessary. Be patient and open to the technology. Keep your video on if possible. We love to see you. Assume positive intentions. A rainy day will make flowers. Separate person from the role. Amen to that one. And be creative and have fun. All right, let's just say amen.
So the last, I would say about 7 or 8 months, First Fight LA is our funder. And they've been going through what they call the reset. And they're doing a little bit of a restructure, but they also did a reset to their strategic plan. And I want to share just some of the overall basic things that they're doing. So, really it's about building better futures for our children and our families in LA County. And so this strategic plan really focuses on goals to collectively build toward ensuring that children's needs across the continuum that includes basic needs, psychological needs, and self-fulfillment needs are being met for every child in the Antelope Valley. As we have emerged from the global pandemic, we are committed to centering racial justice and equity in our work and partnering with a renewed urgency to create a future where young children and their families are prioritized. We seek to go beyond mitigating the effects of growing inequities to address the root causes by engaging you as a community into prevention and systemic change. And the vision for First Five LA is really about the envisioning of a future where every child is born healthy and thrives in a nurturing, safe, and loving community. And the mission that is handed down to all of the funding, people that were funded, is that we want to advocate for children and their families. We want to amplify community voice and partner for collective impact so that every child in LA County reaches their full developmental potential throughout the critical years of 0 to 5. Okay, so this is an overall picture in terms of, I basically took the 33 pages of the strategic plan and just brought it down to simplify it for everybody. But one of the things is that there's 3 major goals that First Five LA is looking at that have changed. The first goal is to recognize that young children's well-being starts with secure housing and economic security, and that these foundational needs for psychological safety are essential, and that we know that for a child to reach their full developmental potential, we have to go further. The second goal that they are addressing is to recognize that children need the support of safe, stable, and nurturing relationships and environments during the earliest and most influential years, from prenatal development to age 5. They need to live, grow, and play and learn in healthy environments with clean air and water and access to parks and outdoor spaces. Young children's interactions in social environments with their families, their caregivers, and the communities, as well as their physical environments, where they live, where they play, and where they explore. We really need to realize that we have long-term implications for their health and their well-being. The third goal really is about focusing on laying that foundation for children's well-being, the lifelong learning and success. This requires ensuring children have the confidence, cultural relevance, and affirming experiences, and solid foundations from early experiences to reach their full potential. Our youngest children really are our future innovators and the problem solvers who will set up LA to be part of a thriving global economy. So these are the main three goals that First 5 LA has focused on. With the objectives, for example, for the first goal, the objectives are to reduce the annual deaths of children under 1 year old per 1,000 live births in LA County to 3.5% by the end of 2029. We also want to reduce the percent of households with children prenatal of 5 in LA living in poverty down to 15.4%. We want to reduce the annual percent of households with children prenatal to age 5 who are experiencing housing insecurities down to 52% by the end of 2029. For goal number 2, the objectives really are to increase the annual percent of pregnant and postpartum people in LA County identified as risk for maternal depression who will receive mental health services. We also want to increase the annual percent of children with access to sufficient choices for healthy food by the end of 2029. And that's in daycare settings and school settings, home settings, out in the community as well. We also want to increase the annual percent of children who have access to parks and open spaces by 57% by the end of 2029. And then for the third goal, we also want to increase the annual percent of children who are receiving publicly funded early care and education in a mixed delivery system to 25%. We want to increase the number of children with developmental delays receiving early interventions as early as it can happen. We also want to increase the percent of households with children who are receiving culturally affirming services and supports in all settings. So these strategies are really interdependent. They influence and inform each other. More and better legislation, administrative regulations, and resources are really what's needed to address the needs of children and their families. Similarly, the performance of public systems needs to improve. We realize that we need to make sure that we have to work on removing barriers that are based on inequities and bias to ensure better outcomes for children prenatal to 5, whom these systems are already serving. We want to make sure that the services that are being provided are top-notch and quality. To achieve these strategies, First 5 LA is working on partnering with communities such as ours, with parents, caregivers, institutional leaders countywide, so that really we can grow a social movement to really bring meet the needs of children prenatal to 5. So some of the tactics that they have in terms of what they want to do is alignment and potential impact. So really working on the proposed or to deploy one or more strategies and show significant potential to impact the targeted objectives. How do we reduce the infant mortality? How do we increase support for mental health services? And how do we increase early care and child education? We want to make sure that all this is equity driven. So it needs to be an equity driven planning process. This proposed tactic shows how it will impact the lives of people and groups across race, ethnicity, class, geography, physical and cognitive differences, sexual and gender identity, home language, and the diversity of family structures. This tactic must also show how these communities were meaningfully involved in the planning process that will continue to be engaged in the implementation phase. And what they mean by the planning process and the work that we're doing here in Fresh Start is that it's your voice and it's your experiences that are really driving the work that we're headed to here with Best Start AV. And we really want to make sure that it's cost benefit and sustainable. We want to make sure that our tactic demonstrates greater benefits than other alternatives, given the cost and the change of the tactic will produce policy, protocols, and other practices that can be sustained through beyond First LA's funding. So that, and that's part of the work that we've been doing too, when we talk about sustainability, is really how do we continue this work? If First 5 LA were to be gone next week, how would we continue this work? Have we reached out to everybody? Have we brought people to the table that can continue doing this work? So these are the things that are really priorities with us in terms of moving forward. And then I want to start by talking a little bit about what we've been working on the last, I would say the last year, but really we've been working on creating our new community change agenda for Best Start Antelope Valley. And some of the work that has started is we began with doing data. We really did a lot of research and we really took time to do data research here in the Antelope Valley across many domains and many systems. And we landed in the community, we decided that these were the 7 domains that really were where we saw priorities here in the Antelope Valley and where we saw the data that really showed gaps, that it really showed the need that we had here. So our first data was the economy and the employment. We also had the environment. We had the health domain, the justice and crime, children, youth and families, the education and the housing. And what we did with each one of those domains is, if you can see on the wall, that's what our data maps look like. Those are just 2 of the data maps. And what we did is we did deep diving throughout these months on each one of these data maps and talked about what was missing, what numbers did we see here, what are some of the disparities that we have here in the Antelope Valley. And they were really, really deep conversations that our community dove into. And after we did that, we really then we voted on where we wanted to do our focus. But one of the things I do want to say about this is that one thing that we found is that no matter what, all of these domains intersect. They all have something to do with each other. And so it was really difficult to try to narrow it down to the top 2. And they weren't top 2 in terms of because they needed more attention than the others, but it was just because we also looked at how the work that Best Start does, and really where is it affecting families and their education and childcare. So so we know that even when we finalize our community change agenda, we are still going to be doing things, or the movement and the projects that we decide as a community, they're all going to intersect with all of these domains as well. So one of the things that we did is, as we were looking to prioritize, we really utilized this criteria for change, like in terms of looking at each one of the data when we voted. We looked at what was the data telling us, what are some of the barriers that are out there. We looked at our other agencies here in the Antelope Valley doing the same kind of work. We were looking at what would the impact have? Is it something that's also realistic? Are we able to make some of this movement? So this is the criteria that we use to prioritize which 2 domains we wanted. And then we did the poll, and then these are the 2 domains that we voted on, and they came up as our 2 areas of focus. That's children, youth, and families, and that's education. And those are the 2 data maps you see on the wall. We also have them in smaller fonts. We have them both in English and Spanish on our table. And then one of the things is that everybody that has signed in today, Stephanie, when she sends out an email of any of the resources or any of the information, We will also attach all the data maps. So that if you hadn't had an opportunity to take a look at that, you'll be able to get that as well. So as we move forward, we continue to have conversations around this. And one of the things that we did within the last 2 months was really take each one of those domains. And we really did a root cause analysis. We really wanted to identify what was the root cause of all of this. That, you know, and that we focus not on band-aids and not on symptoms, but really what was causing the problems. So that was what we did, and that's where we're at as of the end of November. Beginning of the year, we're gonna continue to do the work in terms of, now that we've identified some of the root cause, we're gonna focus on how that's gonna look in terms of systems change, because as you all know, we have really look at not how can we just change, you know, here at a really lower level, but really how is our work gonna interact with that specific system as we move forward. So we'll continue to work on our community change agenda, and we're working on an action plan so that we're hoping that by the end of February, beginning of March, we will have our new community change plan. So that's exciting as well. And then, and that's enough of the official stuff. Now we're gonna stop real quick and we're gonna pick a raffle number. Let's see, Steph, can you grab a, or Omar, can you guys grab a prize? You wanna do a gift card or prize?
Oh. The prize is right.
Make sure it has Sylvia on it. Yeah. Okay, what are we raffling this time? Okay, so this is a $50 card. It's called a thank you card, and you can use it at Old Navy, Chevron, Texaco, Ulta, Grubhub, Total and Wine, and Applebee's. Oh, and the free will theater, so $50. All right, let's see, what is the big, okay. I'm gonna call the last 4 numbers, okay, let's take los últimos 4 números, se los voy a decir. 1958. 1958. 1958. There we go.
No, just
That's not it. I mean, I'm a little black, but that's not it.
Is it the choice?
No. Nobody is. It's an honor. Next.
Does she have it?
Oh, okay.
I think it's one of these.
Yes, it is.
No, people.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Fire me. Okay, this one is 1974. 1974. One more. Oh, let me grab the I'll just bring the present here. This one is a $25 Walmart gift card. Okay, and the winner of this is 1966. 1966. 1966. 1976. No, okay.
Or for her,
What's your number? 1945. Okay. Stephanie, did you just throw it in there like?
I wanted to make it a little interesting, so here's, so yeah. Well, like, just-
Next number
What
is
is-
one.
For Alicia King?
oh, what? A price?
No.
Oh,
Okay, let's do one more. Okay. Yeah. We got to the hard part of it. Now it's kind of have fun. This is a $10 Walmart gift. And the winner is 1984. 1984. 1984. 1984. Thank you for stepping. Can you go around and have them get their signatures?
yeah, well, Mark.
Wait. Yeah, everybody that we see with gift card, we'll ask for your signature, for the finance department reasons. Yeah, so now, I'm gonna hand it out to Carla, who's gonna start walking us through all the amazing work we've done this year.
First of all, I want to say thank you for everyone who has put in the work. Give yourself a hand. You guys are so committed. And I think some of you know what we did this Saturday, right? It was work. It was work. It was a mission. What I told Sylvia is like, hey, these people like they're in it. So I really appreciate it. I appreciate your guys' commitment to best start into the work that we're doing. The showcase really is about you and like what you guys have done. We can't do the work without you. So it's so important for us that you see that, right? Like this is your work. And as we go into 2024, we want to make sure that commitment and that enthusiasm continues. That's so important, right? We cannot do this work by ourselves. So let's start off with first state of the child report. Well, I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but if you know that you participated in the state of the child report in an interview, or just sharing some information with California, get yourself a pat on the back. There you go. You know you were a part of it. Let's appreciate it. Because what the state of children here in the Antelope Valley is. And even though you've been sharing this report in communities, in the work that you are doing, I want you to give yourself a kind of impact, because that's big too. We didn't do all of this work just to see it, we put it in a box and stored away for years, right? We want to make sure that this information is being used in the decisions that organizations are making, and the decisions that our legislators are making. Anything that affects the Antelope Valley, we want to make sure that we are sharing this information, because it tells the story of what the state of the Antelope Valley for children here in the Antelope Valley is. And then if you would like a copy, we do have copies over on the side. We have it in English and Spanish. And then I want to say, like, right before I joined Best-Start, is when this event took place, we had Catalyst California over at the opening, present the information. So if you attended that event, give yourself a pat on the back. Part of the Best-Start Utility Assistance Program supported 325 families, who either had fallen behind on some of their utility payments due to COVID and really the effects, like the after COVID, right? It was hard to get back on our feet, especially for many families here in the Antelope Valley. And so the utility assistance program supported 325 families. We didn't come up with those 325 families on our own. We reached out to you guys to ask you if you knew anyone in the community. So that worked, that was you guys too. You guys reached out to the community. You guys told us what families needed this help, so we wanna say thank you for making that connection. David,
All right.
I think that was yours.
Oh, no, that actually isn't, if you'd like to present that one, but I could talk about it regardless.
Please.
So, I don't know. Okay, so this is our demographic snapshot. This was taken back in, I believe, June. So, what this is just to look back at, who is in our partnership. And the purpose of us collecting this information is to not only see who's attending, but also see how we can improve on our inclusivity as well. Who's our audience that we're not reaching? Are we feeling like we're leaving any like out when it starts to sort of tested and sort of live. So if you can utilize the data, we are able to kind of capture a snapshot of how we're able to improve on that. And then so this is just a look back at it. We put it into a data map and we can see a couple of insights here. We can see how a lot of our membership comes from an educated background. A lot of our membership comes from our mainly women actually too. So those are the individuals who are captured or responded. So we're going to see where we want to go. We want to see we can capture more of a student population, more of an elderly population. So we want to bring in the men too, which is another big part of this demographic survey data. They would let you know that we could definitely improve upon. Also lets us know postcodes of where they're serving as well. This also lets us know the languages, the ethnicity of on that. So this is just with data map and look into who makes up that start.
Yeah, thank you, David. I didn't mean to put you on the spot there. Thank you. You're always such a great board. Best also attended the Everyday Legends Gala and was recognized as one of the Everyday Legends community organizations. Thank you. So this was a great event. It really showcased the work that is being done by those in the community. So I know David, myself, Daryl, and Stephanie were able to attend that event and receive that recognition. But again, this is because of the work that we are all doing. This isn't just like because we showed up, we got the picture, right? The community sees Best Start. They see the work that is being done and it is being recognized. So that was a big win. Again, I feel like a lot of times we try to tell you guys that we're doing a lot and we recognize the work, but yeah, but so does the community. And that is so important. Sanitation, another beautiful event. This was in partnership with Valley Oasis, and it was a film that showcased the importance of having dads involved and what a difference it makes, not just for the child, but for the dads, for the male caregivers that are involved in the child's family. This video is on YouTube. This film is on YouTube, so you can actually watch it as well. I know that we can share it, so please make sure if you haven't watched it, get on YouTube to check it out. If you scan the code, take it to the
when we send the email with all the resources.
We'll include it in the link. Yes, in that same event, we were able to share some of the state of the child reports, as well as other information regarding that site. Yeah, beautiful event. Also, in partnership with all the support services, we had a mental health first aid training back in September. This one was took place right before the trauma informed care. So this was the community really putting a lot of work out there. So this was one of many different events that grantees have carried out as well. The trauma informed masterclass. If you were there, give yourself a pat on the back. That was intense, huh? 5 days. 5 days of training. I think this training itself is very eye-opening. Especially here in the Antelope Valley, what we're trying to create is a trauma-informed Antelope Valley. The way that we engage with the community is important. A lot has happened historically here in the AV. Right, and so we want to make sure that when we are engaging the community, it's not just the, oh, that's just the way things are. Or that's just the way it is, or that's just the community here, and it's not. There is a lot of hurt and there's needs to be a lot of healing. So we're excited to share that we will have the trauma informed masterclass, come around again in the next year, so keep an eye out for that. And again, thank you to all those who attended for the whole 5 days. It takes a lot, right? So we really appreciate that you're doing the work. And it doesn't stop at just attending the training, it's at making sure that you are also taking this information back to your organizations, to your communities, to your families. Our ABPH outreach team, where are you? I see you. Thank you so much. You're the ones out there at these communities, you guys have the resource fairs as well, sharing the information. It takes a team, right? We can't always do this alone by ourselves. So thank you so much for showing up to the resource fairs and sharing the resources. All right, let's clicker. This is for me where like it all started, right? The days that I didn't sleep, it was like day after day of getting together. Anyone here want to tell us what this is? The building of the parade stuff. The parade, getting ready to participate in the Little Rock World Town Council annual parade, right? That was fun. I was starting to feel like, man, no one's gonna show up to help me. And then they came through. And then we were done. We were done so quickly. But again, there's a reason why we participated in this parade. It wasn't just like a random, do we want to do this or not? It helps us make sure that Best Start is being also seen in the east side of the Antelope Valley, right? Antelope Valley is not made up of only Palmdale and Lancaster, and that is so important to recognize and to make sure that we are getting out there. And so this was really big. I also want to share this thing. There we are. No Saturday. It was amazing. Just putting together the flow, being out there. I took my kids as well, and they were saying that their favorite part was handing out the Best Start hats, the Best Start t-shirts, the popcorn, just really being there in the community. And we got a huge shout out from the Little Rock Rural Town Council recognizing Best Start for being there in the community. Diana was there, Diana Love. Diana Couch also helped us with a lot of the decorations. Jen, Mr. Bethel, I don't think, Yadira, thank you for, lending us the house. She's not here today, but maybe she'll watch the recording. So again, it was a beautiful event. Really being able to be there within the community, it really changes our perspective on the work that we're doing, right? It's important to not just be here within these 4 walls. We have to get out there. We have to engage the community. This is really important because we're not just here to make decisions for them. We're here to elevate the voice of the community. Oh, there's more pictures. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The horses were gorgeous. That was, I think, one of my favorite parts too. A lot of great floats and participation from the community that also ended at a resource center we were able to share more information on Best Start. We had the regional center was there, along with other entities. I think they no. Oh, I'm gonna get the name on. Is it David Thompson? There you go. Awesome.
Yeah. So, David, you wanna do this one?
Oh, that was.
Yeah, that's fine. We also did a satisfaction survey and, David's gonna give us some quick text and run down on the results.
Right, so, hello again. So this is the satisfaction survey. If you guys see at your table, you guys see a QR code for the survey, right? I mean, if you come to Best Start meeting before, then you'll be able to, recognize, that we ask you to fill in a survey at the end of the one. That's actually a survey that kind of captures feedback, like how are we doing, what can we improve, what can we add on, like what's your favorite part? A very short, simple survey, and so, these are just a couple of the results that I wanted to highlight, just very briefly, so that we can get, also to the rest of our presentation, but basically, these are just a couple of highlights, like 91% of our favorite respondents among executives, total 46, again, this is from not yet, this is a, highlight of our survey responses from July through, December, so. Out of 46 responses, we can see the percentage of what they responded with, and 91% they were very satisfied with each of it. And our information shared was the favorite part of our respondents media, our respondents favorite part of our meeting. So basically, when you fill in the survey, you guys will say, hey, you fill in what you thought the best meeting was. And you guys have very long these are the feedback that we can get, and then it's here's something that I did to kind of boil it down to like a key item that we can just kind of dissect and look on here for the visualization. And apparently, the majority of our responses will be some sort of reference to their favorite parts of the information that we share here in our regional. On top of that, 90% also indicated that they would definitely invite friends or colleagues to a best for meeting. So that's great news to hear, and I actually want to thank you guys for believing in enough to share us with your friends, your colleagues, or your organization. So we can move on.
So, many of you have participated or are aware that we do the diversity, equity, and inclusion workshops. And we started this round, and these are the ones that we have done already with Danielle. And that's 400-year timeline. We've done diversity and inclusion 101. We've done emotional intelligence, social identities, implicit bias, and microaggressions, and we'll come back with the next in January, right? The next workshop. So these workshops are really well attended. This is the third round of these workshops, and overall, we've had from the three rounds, we've had over 600 community members attend and participate in the diversity workshops. And one of the things that we have also seen is that we have a lot of smaller organizations here in the Valley that maybe don't have the capacity to be able to provide these kinds of trainings to their staff or their teams. And so we've seen an increase in some of these organizations bringing their teams in or their staff in to take part in it. Really understanding the importance of having not only the knowledge, but to be able to get the tools to be able to have these conversations. But some of these conversations are really tough. But if we have the tools and we really are interested and curious about different things, then these workshops have given us that. They've given us some of these tools that we need. Next slide, please. Okay, before I go here, let's do some raffle. Raffle. The prize is a Disney edition Meet the Parents board game. And the winning number is 1970. 1970. Is another one of 70? 1970. How about number 1962? 1962. 1962. Stephanie, that's it, you're out of here. Can't take her any place.
Keep everybody on their toes, you know?
All right. Okay, 1991. There you go. This time we have, also a family game, family charades. And the winning ticket is 1980, 1980. There you go. One more. This one is called Watch Your Mouth. So it's when you put those teeth inside and then like roll them out, you put different things. All wrong, all wrong. But the winning ticket is 1964. 1964. 1964. So what are some of them? Okay, 1943. 1943. Oh! Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's do a good card. Yeah. This is for a $5 Starbucks card. 1946. There you go, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for playing. Okay, so I'll go on with this a little bit. So one of the things that we did last year, towards the end of last year, is that. What happened? Oh, okay. One of the things that we saw was that we started meeting new people. We started meeting new people as we went to events or as they started attending our Best Start meetings. And one of the things that we decided that we were gonna do was establish a mini grant opportunity. And what we did is we put out the grant opportunity, and basically it was we wanted to acknowledge and grant organizations that are in the community that are more of the smaller type organizations that are either just getting started or still at a small scale, and really elevate them, especially because a lot of them are doing a lot of the same kind of thing. And we needed to elevate these organizations. One is to get them better known. Two is so that we as a community in the Antelope Valley know that there are other resources and other organizations out here doing some of this work. And so what they did is they applied for the grant. It was an $8,000 grant. And we got, I think, a total of 28 organizations were awarded the grant. And one of the things with the organization, in some of the pictures we already saw, like the dedication event, that was an event that Valley Oasis used their grant for. And then we also had there's several other organizations, but one that we just got some info on was an organization called Mighty Little Giants. And Mighty Little Giants is an organization that really works with families who have had children or babies that have needed to be in the ICU, the NICU unit. and really supporting families with literature, with resources to help the families cope through that, but also help the families, and, you know, so that the parents or the mom or dad can be at the hospital instead of having to work and things like that. And so, one of the things that they did is they utilized their grant in conjunction with AV Hospital in the NIC unit there. And what they established is they established a library. So that any parent that comes in that is having a baby, an infant or child that's in the NIC unit, they are automatically given the bag that has books and has other literature and other information to complete them. But they also then get resources and they get tied into other work, whether it's financial support or anything else. And they established that like a little library nook area in the NIC unit. So I think it's just one of those amazing organizations. And like I said, I'll go, if you want to go to the next slide, you can start to see some of the names. We've got, for example, we've got Miss Javier Isles here. Why don't you come up here and tell us a little bit about your organization and who's also with it. That way,
Pretty much. Hi, I'm Javier, and as an organization, we always come to change. And so we train community members like yourself on how to engage in policy, raise research, leadership, advocacy, and active emotions so that we can change the narrative on our values. So we are very much community centered because our leaders, they do want us breathing and have skin. You don't have to have a special title to be a community leader and advocate. So that's what we do, and why I just for parents to our students.
Focus on the work that is being done, and I'm gonna call out another person that I know is here, Mr. Huddleston, who also was the recipient of the grant. You want to talk a little bit about it?
The purpose for that I am focused on is to help our young people and older like who their activities, and also to experience being from the ground up, being from the ground up. And so we put a lot of emphasis on that. I've learned that my students a lot of people and that is to make it available. So I send out an email. I haven't heard from anyone yet regarding training for 18 to 26-year-old adults. So this first pass in January. Please take us seriously. Come on down, take a look at what we're doing, and I'm sure that you can think of someone that you can help. And then that, what that does, that leads into fathers and stop the pain families and children that have interest in technology and growing themselves. That's what we're
And one last grantee that I want to bring up is also one of our members, Denise.
Okay, I'm Denise Ponce, and my company, my business is Interesting Vision for Life. My mission and my goal is to be able to help people one at a time or in groups to live a happy, healthy life, free from as many drugs and whatnot as possible, just to live the way that our bodies are designed to live. And I will be in February, I will be starting a pregnancy and nutrition class. And this is for anybody that is planning on being pregnant, anybody that is pregnant, or anybody that has children ages 0 through 5. And we'll be talking about nutrition from prenatal up to ages 5, as far as what is needed for healthy development in our children and ourselves while they're growing and even before they're born. And I'm really excited about this because there are far too many women
Diana Couch, who's also another one of our organizational grantees. Thank you.
I'm Diane Couch, I'm with the Alternative Environments Project. We provide workshops on relationships, peaceful relationships. Conflict resolution, that will help you understand conflicts, your party conflicts, how to help de-escalate conflicts, things like that, in that direction. We have workshops starting in January, so both on Zoom and also in person. So if you're interested, we'll be getting some flyers on that pretty soon.
So we'll be sharing all this information with all of you on the email that comes out after this meeting. So again, we have a lot of really amazing organizations that are doing some amazing work. And one of the things that it was a part of the grant process is that in around April, May, we're gonna get all of these grants together, and we're gonna hold like a summit. And at this summit is where all the grantees are gonna come, and we're gonna have like a gallery of all the work that's being done and what each one does. But we also want to bring in other funders. We want to bring other businesses from the community who maybe have an interest in collaborating with one of our grantees, or maybe funding some more work that is happening. So stay tuned, because that's going to be a really, really amazing event that we're going to have. And I really want to, like I said, elevate all these amazing groups, amazing people who are doing amazing work over here. Next slide. And I'll hand it back.
Yeah, so as we prepare for 2024, and keep in mind, there has been so much work that has gone into this year, all because of you guys. So hopefully we don't lose that momentum during the winter break. We all prepare to bunker down for that 1 week between Christmas and New Year's, right? That's when I probably spent home with the kiddos and really enjoying them. But we want to start our 2024 as strongly as possible. And CPRC is putting together a policy forum, titled Leave No Family Behind. They do this forum every year. They will be hosting it over at CISA. But we will be having a watch party here for anyone that would like to watch the policy forum here in the community. We want to make sure that if we're not able to travel, that at least we are staying informed. If there is interest in attending the events at CSUN, Best Start would be able to pay for your ticket, but you want to make sure to connect with us so we can get you on there. However, you will have to provide your own transportation. Okay. So now we want to start January 5th. I think our original meeting was the day right before that, January 4th, so we can use that time also to prepare if we have any, we want to keep an eye out for like information that pertains or affects the Antelope Valley, or just to make our voice be heard. That'll be January 5th. January 31st, we are restarting the trauma-informed AD training program kickoff. So it'll be a little bit of a different approach. The last two trainers that we've done were, one was virtual, the other was, it was hybrid, half virtual, half in person, and then the second one was in person. They were each over the span of 3 to 5 days. For the trainers. This time what we're doing is we're gonna go a little bit longer so that what we hear is it's a lot of information to take into consideration. If we wanted to just be information that goes into one year, and we make it count only like 10% of it, and the rest kind of things that down, and we do want to make sure we're being really intentional about how we are putting this work out into the community. So, with Shenandoah, the presenters help, we will be putting together the training program so that you're able to take this information and then put it back into the community. And then in March, be on the lookout for our backyard mixer. It's a community mixer where we want to make sure that we are connecting. A lot of the time and a lot of the conversations that we've had over the last few months, we have heard time and time again. I hear that you guys are having, but where is the information being shared? Right, so this will be sort of a networking event where we make sure that we're building those relationships as a community and that we are staying in contact. Another thing that I want to keep sort of highlight is the group size. If it's not a group size, make sure you're on there. We're really hoping that 2024 will be create this social platform in an area where we can share those resources, especially as community leaders. If you want this information to be shared, this would be a great place. Flyers, events that can be shared with the community. More about the group site on the meeting at the stakeholders to meet.
And we're also gonna, not everybody is familiar with the group site platform. But it's really an amazing platform where you can have like, it's almost like your groups, and if you're interested in policy, there's gonna be a lot of stuff with policy. There's opportunities there to have chats going on, articles, any kind of resources that you're able to, upload information there as well. The way it works is like you get invited into it. But one of the things that we want to do, and it'll probably be more towards middle of January to the end of January, we're gonna have a couple of workshops, just kind of give us an idea of how group site work and just to show everybody so that they can get a little more comfortable if it's something that you want to take part in. It's going to be really beneficial for us. It's going to be an area where anybody can now come in and you can invite other people to come into the site as well. And it's something where Best Start is able to have the platform, but it's for the community and it has spaces like file folders and all kinds of information. So it really is a good resource to have. So we will be having the workshop to try to use that. But if you're already familiar with it, please, we'll make sure that everybody that signs in gets an invitation. And then you just kind of start going around and see what you can there. Anything that might be a big.
Especially for the program board master class, I know for some people, one of the last things we left off is like, we don't want to just take this for because a group of great people and then kind of go off into the community and never see each other again, right? We want to make sure that we are still in contact with this kind of be a great place to do that. All right. That was a lot of time. I told you guys, you've been doing so much this past year, so big round of applause to you guys. Thank you so much. And I felt that the floor for everyone to share the takeaway from today's presentation before we go on. But you guys are among three. I would still like to hear from you guys.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gloria. I'm 95. I've been ADPH since I was 8 months pregnant. I had no idea of the whole until she invited me. I had no understanding of how first life works and how it's fun. And it has been a very reflective whole segment to me this whole meeting. I've been trying to concentrate, but I'm just so surprised with the community. I moved from Allegheny to Antelope Valley 40 years ago. And I've been in that a little bit of like now. And I've been so close with so many things and I feel like so many great small also partners that you guys partner with out in your organization and yours as well.
I'm thinking in my head, I should find it out. I should find it. I have a toddler, but I'm like, everyone would be bringing my kids, so it's to let you guys know from a person who's also doing, down Long Beach, I had out. And I'm very surprised to be there so much, and we know a whole community. We're gonna take you guys through time to deal with the borders, not maybe you can go over to counties that I'm very, very excited, very excited for what we're going for. Thank you. Well, I homeschool my three youngest kids, so getting kids, like, I homeschool them. So I just wanna say that amplify that we really try to be a big family, picture, organization, and I think it's our mission to push the bigger scale. That's how we raise the next year.
January to here. I've been living out here 24 years, and I think the thing that I've seen and that I love and appreciate is that more people have said, hey, what can I know? What can I do? Instead of us all being on our little bubble or our own tree, our little circle, and then doing it with our own little things, all decided there's so much going on. We can't keep complaining, and we need to do something. And that's the part that I like, is being in an environment where people are actually making. We're not sitting around waiting for someone to do something for us. That we're all educated enough. Some may have letters behind their name, some may not. But that doesn't matter. We're all putting in the thinking and saying something. You know, ideas to bigger than small to collectively make some change to make it. This building in itself is a testament of change that was, I've been here 24 years. I've seen so many things change for so many things for the better, and I hope that the light will continue to shine on Antelope Valley to say, hey, it's people who still believe that this tumbleweed rolling around here. We don't have any money up here, we don't have any jobs up here, we don't have people of class and status or anything. No, it's not going on up here. And I hope that people can continue to see that all the work will continue to be done, and the children that will make an impact in their lives, where they'll want to go out, do something big, but they'll say, I got my start right here in the little town.
Hi, I'm around here. My name is Diana. I'm the person advocate, and we have a little bit of AD parents that usually were quite the system regarding our kids' writing. So this is my first time to this meeting. I've known about you guys when I was down below in LA. So I'm excited to see how we can partner with people.
You know, any key takeaways or what you would like to see happen from this point on?
Hello, everybody. So my name is Alma Rodriguez. I am with Save the Children. I just have to congratulate Darla. She has a new set of plants over in the Little Rock area. They are so impressed, that they are so thankful that they came to our little parade. Sorry, I missed it and what's out of town, but I'm hearing that it's the first time. And what I would like to see in the next year is like more people coming to our little on the parade side of the Antelope Valley. We want the resources, we want you, and help us build a better community. So thank you, Carla. Thank you, community.
Probably really like that. No, really, and again, the animal value is more than just condo and my house, and I think that's what I want to see moving forward. That we are inclusive of all of the animal value, that we are really reaching deep in there, making sure that Asian families are stronger together, all in the AV, okay? Any last comments before we close out, because we get ready for live?
Headset, if you're not bilingual. Or-
Yo ya conocía la organización hace como 900 años. Y la renovación que hicieron ahora, ¿cómo está la organización ahora? Muy diferente y te agradece perdón, que involucren a la gente y que tengan así como abiertos todas las decisiones, la gente están abiertos a escuchar cualquier opinión y que involucren a todos. Entonces, está todo esto y agradezco mucho la oportunidad de
I'm just like, wait, just like a little more, she said, and then she's seen, Beth start from where it was before to where it is now, and she really appreciates the openness, seeing everyone being able to come and share their ideas, and to be heard, and to be a part of the change, and she really appreciates that. And I think Mr. Bethel, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So my name is Alberto. For many years. From 2015 to 2023. There's been a lot of problems, especially with COVID. People staying home, getting stuck at home, no communication, means that things are not successful and everything's just gone downhill. So now with the growth and new growth and with that, there's the best start. Has now empowered the community to achieve and become successful with things, working together. Using having people in the deaf community get involved, having more communication, having a partnership and important of each other, and having that process of the communication improve and build. So people are looking to one another, maybe send money and causing conflict with each other. And please the future, maybe to 2028, where things can become adjustable and improve and give the power back to the people. Especially the skills that are having control. So and working with those people and helping that process. Because there's so much concept and it's so certain things. There's a lot of drugs happening. It just is so bad. So negative. It's so in their phones and their technology. Really need to work for them better tomorrow. And with this partnership, I think it helps that.
That's everything that everyone has says, please know that it's taken to our hearts and we do this because we also are residents, we are also community here. We all live here in Antelope, so this is our community. This isn't just something we come to do to get our paycheck and go. We also want to see health and growth and positivity and inclusivity and no color lines, racial lines, any kind of line. We all live in this community and we've got a lot, especially if we take a look at, if we look around and say, people of color, we already have a if we we shouldn't have to by also then making lines for ourselves, right? We should continue to work together, to better our community, and that really is at the heart of what Best Start wants to do. We want to bring all you together, because at some point, the funding does end. At some point, we're not gonna be here, but that's why we're doing all this, giving you the tools, we're teaching each other, you know, ideas and ways to prosper. Because ultimately, you'll be running the work that Best Start does. It may not be funded by First by LA or may have a different name, but the work itself, we want you to put us out of a job, basically, what it is, so that the community can continue to grow and to heal. And I want to see the Antelope Valley on positive statistics. I'm tired of seeing our numbers of, we have the highest this, the highest that. I wanna see it, high numbers, but on positive stuff. I wanna see that our graduation, scores rise, that we have more, you know, cause right now we're only at 60% graduation rates, in the Antelope Valley. I don't want that number. I want us to be at 95, 99, and I think it can be that, but it has to start with the work that we do. And, with you as your voice and your, experience, why the way we look at Best Start is, we're the little car, but you are the gas, you are the driver, and you're the one guiding the map, where we want to. So, again, from the bottom of our heart, we really want to say thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for the work that you've been putting into all of this. Whether you're new or been around, thank you for being here. And there's nothing more astonishing than to know the kind of passion and commitment that this Antelope Valley has. And like Carla said too, it isn't just Palmdale and Lancaster, it's all of the Antelope Valley. And that was one of the reasons why 2 years ago, we as a Best Start committee said, you know what, there was a Palmdale, the Best Start and a Lancaster Best Start, and we said that we need to do Best Start and Antelope Valley. So again, thank you, Best Start Antelope Valley, thank you, Antelope Valley community, and let's continue with this work. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, but I love the passion and I love just everything that you guys bring to the table. And let's get more people and let's really start impacting and changing. We want to be disruptors. We want to disrupt systems so, to the point where they're going to be like, oh God, here they come again. But we're going to do it positive. Yeah, we're going to do it for the right reasons. It's for our kids, it's for our families, and it's for our community. So I know that they're setting up part of the food, we'll get that finished up and then everybody can start having lunch. Know that we are also doing a toy drive for some of the families that we have through our mental health program, the Bible program. And if you're interested in donating, you could either bring it here to the front desk, or you can go on Amazon, and we'll send all this out on Amazon, and you can order a toy through there that will come here to the office. And then Tuesday, so every quarter we have what we call the our stakeholders convening. And historically, a lot of the people that come to the convening really have been more or leaders of organizations, but we also want our community members to come. And the purpose of the Antelope of the stakeholders convening is that we really have a focus around data and policy and advocacy. We know that those two areas are really what drives all of this work and what we need to really cling to be able to make some of that change. So on Tuesday, the 12th, we are gonna have our December convening, and we'll get, again, all this will be emailed to you, so that you're able to join us. And this is not it's only virtual, but like I said, we do it quarterly, and join us because it's a lot of really good information. Some of the data that we share and that we continue to share both in this meeting and in in our meeting and it was.
How to put that to the camera.
They're using some of these data maps in their schools through their program. And that's what we're gonna do. We wanna make sure that you all have access to this data. And at any given point that if you need it for work, or you need it for school, or you need it just to make people realize what's happening in the Antelope Valley, we can share that data with you. See you. And then the January 3rd will be the next DEI, which is privilege and oppression. And that's also virtual and we'll give you the link. And that's really exciting. And then as always, please follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, go to our YouTube page. We'll send out the links to all of this. And continue coming. We really do have a lot of work ahead of us. And there's times when it felt like we were actually going to school when we were doing all these data maps and it felt like a lot of learning, but there's a purpose to that. It's tools that we can now go out and continue to say, well, these you know this and did you know that, and that way, you know, we can bring more people in. But please come back, bring a friend with you. And then don't forget to take our survey that you have on the table. It really is important. It makes us stay on top of if there's things we need to change, if there's things that are missing, we just want to know that. So please let us know all of that. And we just want to make sure that you all know that we the best for our team here, we want to make sure that you all have a safe and happy holidays, whatever holiday you may observe or not. But just stay safe and really enjoy and stay healthy with your families. Thank you. A $50 gift card.
We've been keeping up with this. Are we been keeping up with it?
Oh, because.
Longhorn Steakhouse. Let's see if it's not one of Stephanie's tickets. Birthday, let's make it. Oh. Yeah. Anybody that, again, real quick, anybody that gets a gift card, please make sure that we get your signature for the card. So this one is 1941. One night. Right. So where are we eating at? Yard House? Is that? Yard House happy hour? Is that what we're going? Okay. Yes. This is the $15 gift card for Fandango for a movie. So this one is 1963. United States Fifth, 1963. I know. Okay, and then, before real quick, one of the other things too that we have established, and many of you have already filled out these forms, but we have our official Best Start membership form. So if you are interested, the people, like in terms when we get to areas where we're voting on something, you have to be a signed member to be able to vote. So we have these forms. If you're interested, Stephanie will get it to you and it will be a fake ticket, but it'll be a good form, a real form. And again, hopefully many of you will want to join for that. And then, okay, so the ticket number is 1965. 1965. No, I think she's asking for a form. I was like, okay. Okay, how about 1976? Yeah, let's do one more and then we'll get started on. Stephanie, it's ready, like, people can start going up? Okay, so we can go ahead and start going up, but just hold on to your ticket and let's see, or let's do this one. This one is 1956, 1956, 1956. 1956. That was the 52. Oh, sorry. Well, I don't know, it's gonna be. No.
You said it the version.
It should have, you know, here's the thing though, it's.
Yeah, they're all in the
Look
chat.
at the bottom ticket,
You know
we
what
have
you're
the
saying,
top
right?
and bottom on some of
You know
these.
what you're saying? I'm gonna give it up.
Oh, 1953.
Here's a pen.
Are they doing anything with the thing?
Yeah, well, I told her, no, it's on her, it's not on this. See how I do it. I'm like, listen, girl, we were busy over here.
Let's get everybody fed and then we'll continue to travel and then we'll do a tour of the building. Okay?
I'm gonna eat.
I'm gonna wait. I'll let everybody else go first.
Why no more?
No, you
No,
go. I'm not
no,
stopping
way
you.
too.
Well, it's gonna run out.
Yeah.
Now go.
Hold on, that there's different food. Oh, there's some still there.
Black olives.
Yes, and you guys on the table, there's little balloon headbands too, or little props that you want to give them. Yourself yourself.